Greetings, friends. Welcome to an episode of, I guess we'll call this Black Metal and Brews, an episode in which I neither listen to black metal or drink a beer. It's been a long time since I made my last soda video, and I felt like I'd been unfair to y'all in that. So Jareth and I here are going to listen to a noise tape from our dear friend Knifedoutofexistence. One word, so maybe I'm supposed to say it more rapidly. It's hard for me to tell. And we're going to drink China Cola, a soda whose name is a little bizarre to me, but it says it uses Chinese herbs and spices. This tape was released here in the North American continent by one of my favorite labels, Aught Void. So, being the kind of tape this is, the songs are long. I figure I'll get that started before we get too into any of this. This fella has been making some of the more interesting noise that I've heard out of the UK, well, just in general, but I'm not too familiar with the UK noise scene. So, dear friends, any of you, send me links to anything cool. I'm really a sucker for the layout of things, and I feel like this is fascinating to me. Just a really nice little J-cart. Aught Void always delivers in that regard for me. And the tape is coming through really quietly, so we're going to take a minute, turn it up a bit. There we are. I may regret this soon, the volume at which we're listening. I can always turn it down. But, for now, I'm content with this. You can hear a lot of his. I think this tape was dubbed at a really low volume, perhaps. Regardless, great stuff. China Cola, I had one like 3 or 4 months ago. I remember enjoying it. These twist tops are a strange thing. So, glad to have a cat to help me. I don't know what I'd do otherwise. Thought it'd be funny to kind of put this in the glass I usually drink my whiskey out of, or that you'd have wine out of. Oh, she's quite intrigued. So, no surprise there. Foams up quick, disappears quick. Smells like a cola. I don't know if I recall. There's like no artificial stuff in here. Maybe there is. It's hard for me to say. Yep. Hey kid. Oh, she is ready to help me with the lid from my soda. Here you go. So, I like that this is not overly sweet right now. It's crisp. It also doesn't have that a lot of things that aren't terribly sweet in soda at least have that diet flavor, whatever the heck that is, that's just really not fun to deal with at all. This is just gonna, well, it tastes like a drink. There's no caffeine in this, which, depending on who you are as a pro or con, for me, I like that. Right now I've already had my coffee for the day. Yeah, so there are a few things, some ingredients that some folks may not be too excited by, but admittedly, beers don't put their ingredients on the label in most cases, so, it's not like I'm terribly worried. But there's water, cane sugar, Szechuan peony root, cassia bark, Malaysian vanilla, which I'm not sure how that differs from your ordinary vanilla bean, oils of lemon, lime, and orange, nutmeg, cloves, licorice, cardamom, caramel color, citric and phosphoric acid. So, I guess that caramel color would be the issue for some of you. I think this is really, it's subtle in the spicing, but there is a little bit of bite in the nose, and yeah, I feel really weird doing this with soda. Yeah, I mean, not that I don't feel weird doing it with beer, but. Here we go. So really good, just like, power electronics, death industrial noise going on here. I'll admit that I feel like the more music I hear, the more genres fail me I've come to associate feelings more than the sonic elements that I associate with anything. This is either going to be like the best video ever or the worst, depending on who you are. Jareth has decided that there's no better place to be than like right in front of the camera here. And honestly, I mean, I've already poured my drink. I can't go back now and start over. I don't want to. I think that the videos of her are better, personally. She's a lot more interesting than I am. Since I have the access to nutrition facts, there's under 35 calories in this whole bottle. Heck of a lot of sugar though. 34.4 grams. So, don't have one of these every day, or do. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I can't say that I would. So this album came out around this time last year. I don't think I said it. It's called The Weight of the World Spread Across the Length of a Year. So I guess it's kind of fitting that it took me nearly a year to get around to reviewing it. I feel like each of the tracks spans well over 8 minutes, so with only 4 songs, you're still getting, a full-length album here, basically. It's got just a vastness. It feels both really big and empty and really dense all at once, and that's really cool for me. I often feel like a lot of noise tapes with vocals don't really do much for me. Simply in that I feel like a lot of time it gets to this kind of pointless, needlessly macho territory. And while I feel like death pile worship can be done nicely, and a lot of the time it just strikes me as testosterone being vented in a needless way. We got a dude screaming over static, and that's cool and all, but more often than not, I personally like something a little different from that. It's not bad, it's just not as much in my personal taste. What Knifedoutofexistence does, I feel, is it's oddly structured, feels very personal, almost confessional, although I'll admit I don't know what he's saying. But there's just, I feel like this is some sort of exorcism almost of God knows what. Maybe I don't want to know. So for all the herbs and stuff, this basically just tastes like a cola with a little bit of funk, a little bit of like a bark flavor to it almost. That's not a bad thing. I don't do a lot of colas, and for the same reason I don't do a lot of cheap beers. The amount of bubbles, the excessive carbonation often really upsets my body and kind of messes with my palate. The combination, I'll often end up feeling great physical discomfort. This does not, I mean, you can see there's basically no extreme bubbles. Oh, sorry, I accidentally brushed an ear. Now we're awake. So it's smooth, which I like. Any crispness is actually coming from the drink itself and not from bubbles in the drink, which is pretty rad for me. So basically, smooth drinking, not so smooth sound. We're just going to sit for a bit and think about what we've done while Jareth judges us. want to help me with this glass? No? The danger for me with soda is that I can drink it so much more quickly than I can drink beer. And while this won't get me drunk, I can drink a lot of these. China Cola is affordable enough to get it one of the markets here in town, just a big grocery store. I can't say that this is my favorite drink. I can't say that it's a bad drink. I think marketing it as something Chinese, much like certain bands, is a little misleading. This is made in Los Angeles with imported herbs, and while the herbs and whatnot and spices, don't forget the spices, are clearly actually ingredients here, I can't say how much they're impacting the flavor. Maybe I just don't have the soda drinking palate. To me, this just tastes like a better version of your average cola. And while colas are fine, I'm more of a root beer person. Maybe that's just me. This next track here, Paternal, is probably my favorite track on the tape. So we're going to get just a moment of this in before I send y'all off. Because I realized my last video was about 20 minutes long. And gosh, I don't even want to watch myself for that long. Because I have to watch these to make sure they transfer properly. Goodness. There's a darkness, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I'm just going to let you guys enjoy it as I do. I believe this cassette is sold out stateside. I can't speak for it in Europe, although I imagine, given that the artist is actually European, it's even less likely to be obtained there. You can definitely support Knifedoutofexistence through his Bandcamp page. Odd Void, the label that put this out, has a new batch of releases coming out really soon, so keep an eye on their website, which I will link, of course, in the comments here. China Cola, find it where you can. It's good enough to try once, maybe twice, like I'm doing. This was a lot more fun than I expected it to be. I'm really hoping to bring you a little more noise and soda pop soon. Anyway, I'm Ben. This is Jareth, the real star of the show. You've been listening to Knifed Out of Existence while watching me drink soda. China Cola. If there's any other sodas you'd like for me to try, send me a recommendation, and if I can find them in Portland, Oregon, I will purchase and drink it. Because this is exciting and fun, and I have a lot of friends and viewers who are straight edge or can't have beer for health reasons, and I'd like to make this something that we can all enjoy. So, thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye bye.